Oh, good morning. Tried something a little different last night and I left the sheep out. There's still some of them that have been getting out. I think I'm probably just gonna have to sell them, kind of sort hard on them, sell those. Then hopefully I have a bunch of sheep that is gonna stay in. So I'm really hoping if I sort hard on them, always sell them ones that are always getting out and being, you know, just a pain, then hopefully I'll end up eventually with a good herd, good solid herd that respects fences and stuff like that. So as of right now, all them white ones, the ones I bought later, those seem to be really pretty decent sheep. They're pretty content, and anytime you put them somewhere, they're not searching the perimeter, they're just eating, which is a good sign. So with that being said, I need to come out here. I left them out all last night instead of putting them in. So I need to come out here this morning, drive through all of them, get a good head count on them, and make sure everybody is here, because there very well could be a couple gone this morning. I mean, not gone, but probably out somewhere grazing. But I'm gonna drive through them, get a good head count on them, and hopefully everybody's here. Everybody's here, so that's good. They all stayed here. I'm actually kind of surprised. Probably should have a little more faith in my sheep, but the way that they was climbing out yesterday, I figured for sure that I was gonna have like at least 10 of them out there in a different pasture and have to get them in, but I didn't. So they're all here this morning, so that's good. I've got 4 new babies, 1 new set of twins that I just showed you in that last clip. That I haven't been home much this week. We went to a grazing school that you guys will be hearing a little bit more about that coming up here in the next video that you'll see will be about that grazing school. So we're excited to share that with you guys. But we put Trixie out here this week too, so she's still hanging out, and that calf, the little orphan calf, has figured out that he needs to suck when her own calf sucks. So she's raising both them calves, and they're both doing pretty good. They've been out here with the sheep all week, so it's good that she can be out here grazing and stuff. Getting this good green grass should hopefully help her produce some good milk. Running Trixie in here with the sheep, they go through a lot more water because Trixie's a bigger animal. But milk cows actually drink more water than regular beef cattle do, and that's part of the whole milk production deal as well. They drink more water to help produce more milk, and then a lot of what they eat goes to milk production too, and that's why they look so skinny. I know I mentioned that in an earlier video, kind of explained that, but I wanted to add that to it too. They drink a lot of water, so that's kind of why the sheep go through more water now than they ever have, just because of Trixie. Okay, so Dad ran out down south of town to check the cows, and then there's a permanent electric fence wire that's broke over there that he's gonna fix this morning. So Cole and I ran over here to where the yearlings are, and we're gonna move them into the next long strip paddock here. So we're gonna set up, well, there's 2 of us, we're gonna set up their first move today that we're gonna give them. Then we're gonna set up their second move that they'll get tomorrow. And then in this piece, we do have a water tank. It's over that little hill right there, but it leaks. We need to put some more bentonite in it to get it to fix to hold water. So we're gonna have to make a little alleyway. We're gonna have to set up an electric fence in this paddock again, so they have a little alleyway back, and then they'll water out of that tank over there. So we're gonna get running some electric fence up here. Okay, so we changed our minds. We're not gonna set up tomorrow's move yet. We gave them about the same size piece as they had in this other strip when we first moved them in there. And they hit that pretty hard, which is, I think we kind of want to do that here. We want to hit it fairly hard. Not extremely hard because it's kind of getting late enough in the year. It's warm enough that stuff's not gonna bounce back as fast as it should, as far as having some stuff to cover it for the winter time. But I think it'll be okay. So we're gonna hit that fairly hard, and then we're going to see what it looks like tomorrow, and then we'll base our next paddock size off of that one. So I'll just kind of real quick, while Cole's grabbing the fencer, while he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of show you guys what some of the stuff we kind of look for. So like I said, this first piece, they hit it pretty hard. So as you can tell, there's not a ton of grass left standing in this first piece that we gave them. But the good thing about that is that a lot of it was just trampled and pushed down. So as you can see, you can't even see bare ground here, which is what we're looking for. We want that good armor over the top of the soil. Because if this was bare soil, like today's gonna be 90 degrees as a high today. So if this was bare soil, that soil would be getting all that sunlight, and it's going to basically cook your microorganisms in your soil. So if your bare soil hits over 70 degrees, you're starting to kill your microorganisms in your soil. So that's where having this armor on top of the soil comes in handy. It kind of acts as an insulator and protects the soil from the heat of the sun during the daytime. So that's that's one of the things we're looking for. I'll just kind of show you here, look at. So there's bare soil. So all this is covered good. So this really wasn't hit as hard as I was thinking, just because of all the cover that's on the ground. So I think this is actually acceptable. This is probably about kind of right what we want to do. Eat off everything. And then this pasture now that we're gonna move them out of here today, this pasture is gonna have like a whole year of rest. And that's gonna give the roots and the grass plenty of time to recover and bounce back. So that's kind of some of the positives that we're looking for. Doing this rotational grazing like this and really getting that animal impact on it. And dung beetles. All those little holes are dung beetle holes. Oh yeah, there's a dung beetle right there. See that little guy? That's a dung beetle. And those are very, very, very important because those are the animals or insects, whatever you want to call them, that break down your poop. So they're working on breaking down the poop, naturally breaking it down. There's another one there. So we can also look at this and see this poop here and see what type of what they're leaving behind for grass, how they're digesting it. So these might be just a little bit long. You kind of want them little fine grasses in there to be like 3/8 of an inch long at the max, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8 inches long. So these are probably kind of right at 3/8. So it's probably really close to what we kind of want to see in the poop, which means that the gut health on our animals is pretty acceptable. So got insects working, whoops, got animals working. All right, so Cole grabbed the fencer. We're gonna move it over to the next piece, get it set up, and then we'll move these guys. And then once they're moved out of this piece, then we can set up this alleyway so that they can come back to water. So we just got the fencer moved, and we have this handy dandy little tool right here called the fault finder that Gallagher makes. It's an electric fence tester. We sell them, so if you want one, let us know. Yeah, that should be hot. So anyway, we're gonna test our electric fence here. And basically with this deal, all you gotta do is just touch it to the fence. So there's no extra cords or nothing. It just makes it a little faster. Number one, and number two, it's a fault finder because we can test the voltage on that end and then test the voltage like in the middle. Well, I guess I should say, if you test the voltage on that end and it's lower than you want it to be, then you could test the voltage in the middle. And if you have a drop between 2 points when you test it on your electric fence, then you know that you're gonna have a fault in between that somewhere. So if it reads 9 over there and it only reads 6 in the middle, then that means that we have something going on in between those 2 points where we tested it that is making it lose power. We've got a fault somewhere. Whereas a normal tester, it would just kind of read low everywhere you put it. It just reads 6 everywhere you put it. It wouldn't read 9 at the beginning. So, and this shows you the full, flow of your current and everything like that. So you got to put your thumb on this little guy. It comes with a ground deal, but then you have an extra wire and stuff. So if you just put your thumb on this, then it grounds it out, because I'm standing on the ground. Then you just put it right there. As you can see, we're reading 9.1, 9.2. So anyway, that is reading 9.2, that cross fence. And then the permanent electric fence up there where the fencer's hooked to is also reading 9.2. So obviously we don't have any shortage. So it's good to go. 9.2 will give them a really good shock. Trust me, I got a shock from it the other day. And so they should stay in. So we're gonna go let the fence down now, or open the gate anyway. Let the yearlings into here, and then we'll set up our alleyway so they can run back to the water. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and string up our little alleyway back to this water tank. Okay, so remember what this looks like now. And we'll come check it again tomorrow, and we'll give you guys a comparison of what it looks like now to what it's going to look like tomorrow. So we do have some cover already here, so we can just keep that in mind, but it's all old cover, so it's dead grass, which is still good cover, but we'll see if we've got any new cover laid down on top of that tomorrow when I come over here, and we'll see what they eat, what they don't eat. There's a whole bunch of old sweet clover in here, old, you know, the old sticks sticking out of the ground. So we'll see if that's all trampled down tomorrow or not. Okay, so I'm back over here this afternoon. Wind's blowing, so sorry for that if the wind noise kind of sucks. But so you guys saw what it looked like before, this pasture looked like before, so now here's what it looks like after. So they've got her ate off pretty good. I'm actually going to, before I give them a new piece here, I'm going to do the, I'm gonna take a clipping sample and do some math in maybe a couple different places and see how much forage we have left behind here, and then that'll kind of determine how big of a piece I give them today. At the grazing school, they gave us this ring here. And so this ring is the right size for the math formula that we have to determine how many pounds per acre of forage that we have. So we didn't take it before yesterday because we didn't have this with us, but I do right now. So I'm gonna do one right now and take an after, and we'll see how much they have left here. There's a lot of cover on this here, a lot of old cover. So I'll be kind of curious to see how much they left, but I'll kind of take you through the process of how I do this. So I'm just gonna throw my ring out here like this. I'm gonna kind of get it pushed down to the ground. You know, kind of get whatever's growing inside the ring in the ring, and whatever's growing outside the ring outside of the ring. So there's what it looks like before. Then I'll go through and clip it now, and then I'll I'm gonna clip it and then I'll put it in this plastic bag, and then I've got a little scale to weigh it, and then I take the weight and everything. And I'll explain it here in a little bit. But anyway, here's what it looks like before. So I'll clip it all now, and then I'll put it in the bag, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after. Okay, so I got it all clipped and in my bag here. So that's what it looks like after. I'm taking basically everything. So now we're gonna weigh it, do some math, and we'll see. Get behind here where there ain't no wind. Scale here. Oh, that wind is not very fun today. I'm gonna call that 18. Oh, we'll do 17. So this, it's reading 1,100 pounds per acre. I'm gonna put this back. So this spot's reading 1,100. I might take one more sample just so we can get an average before we decide how big we're gonna give them next time. Oh yeah, okay, this is like 40, so I'd call that like 45. So a big difference. This was a lot thicker over here, and there's a little more cover here on this second one. Wow, yeah, that's saying like 2,900 pounds per acre. So we could take one more. The yearlings are kind of getting a little antsy. We'll take one more and we'll see what. So we have 1,100 so far. Then this one was 2,900. So we'll take one more, see what it says. Then maybe we'll have a decent average here. 2,900 pounds per acre. That's leaving a lot. We could definitely eat more than that. So we'll take one more just to make sure. Not the easiest in the wind, I'll tell you that much. We'll call this one 25. So that's 1,600. So this is 16 plus 1,100 was the first one, plus 2,900 was the third one, divided by 3. So you have an average of 1,800 pounds per acre that we left on this piece here. I'm sorry guys, the wind is terrible. So anyway, we got an average of 1,800 pounds that we left here, that's pretty good. Ideally, I think that this time of year I would want it to be anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800. Probably not much less than 1,500 for sure, just because we're kind of getting to the drier part of the year. And so as far as like, you know, grass coming back, it'd be nice to leave some good grass, some good cover to keep that soil cool. Kind of like what we talked about earlier in this video. So I think this is about right. I might even go just a tickle smaller with the next one. We'll kind of see how it plays out. But anyway, we'll get these girls moved. They're kind of anxious today. So we'll get them moved here. So yesterday we gave them 3 posts. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give them 3 posts again today. And then Cole and Dad can kind of see what it looks like. This looks pretty similar. There might be a little bit heavier as far as more grass in this piece than there was in the other piece. But it'll be really close to about the same. And that 1,800 pounds is actually pretty ideal. I think that's pretty close to kind of what we want to leave behind. Okay, got the new fence set up. I'm gonna go ahead and unroll this old one and let these yearlings in here. So you can see this old, can you tell where the fence line was? So there's a fence line comparison for you. You can kind of tell how much they ate, how much they left compared to what it looked like yesterday. But these girls are happy, content, and grazing. I think in the future, hopefully the near future here, we're going to do a more in-depth video on the bricks testing. I know a lot of you guys asked for that. Don't worry, we hadn't forgot about it, it's coming. We're gonna do a more in-depth video on that, the bricks testing in the grass, a more in-depth video on this clipping and stuff that I kind of showed you a little bit of today. We'll dig more into the math and all that too. We'll have a dedicated video to those two things. And then the rotational grazing, some of the science behind that, the science behind what it does to your soil, your root system, and all that, kind of what we're, you know, we'll kind of explain why I said that 1,800 pounds an acre is actually pretty good right now. So we'll have a more in-depth video for all that and kind of explain it a little better. But I thought I'd just kind of introduce it to you guys so you maybe have a little bit more of an idea later on when we make a more in-depth video about it. But I think with that, that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. If you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Those two things help us out a lot and they go a long ways, and it's free for you guys to do. So thank you, we appreciate it. Keep leaving them comments. We love hearing the comments. You know, improvements for what we could, how we can make these videos a little better, stuff like that too. That's all open to us. That's plumb fine with us. So go ahead and leave us some comments down below. We love hearing from you guys. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.